What's up, everybody? Welcome to Frosty Friday, the 4th of July Independence Day edition. Today we are drinking, so we're drinking the barrel OBI. It's an Ordinary Bitter, but it's barrel aged from Intrinsic Brewing. And I was trying to figure out when I posted this the survey on my Instagram page, which if you're not following, you should go follow at Wiley Beer Snob. There was a competition between Hopston out of Houston from Eighth Wonder Brewing, and then the barrel aged OBI out of Intrinsic in downtown Garland. But then I was thinking when I put this together, realizing it was 4th of July weekend, how can you get more American than Garland? And so Garland totally won. Barrel aged OBI out of my staple Intrinsic. They always make a great brew, and so I don't think this one is going to disappoint at all. One thing that I will point out is that this is number 184 out of 220, meaning they only bottled 220. And for those of you who don't know, Intrinsic Brewing, again, out of downtown Garland, they're getting ready to start. They're working on, there's rumors of, there's things being built, there's hammers, there's nails. But yeah, so they're working on bottling. And so you're going to be able to have Intrinsic brews out of the store in your local bottle shop, wherever you get beer. So that's a really cool thing that they're doing. I'm super excited to hear it. So this week's Spotify playlist. So let's try the Ordinary Bitter first. Looks pretty good. Obviously out of my Pedicolis beer glass, but yeah, pretty amazing color. It's not really as sour or bitter as I was thinking. It's pretty smooth, actually. Me being a complete fan of sours, I was expecting a little more tart, a little more like hit you. So they have quite a few sours on their menu, but yeah, I'm horrible at saving beer. When it says this can be, you can drink it fresh or it can be cellared up to 5 years. Again, I am horrible at cellaring beer. So, I think I've had this thing for like 3 months. And so yeah, straight up just started drinking it today. So, pretty awesome. Yeah, but, so Spotify playlist, what's going on? Ralston Sterling, one of the unknown, yet still critically acclaimed authors in Dallas. So yeah, this week's Spotify playlist was actually brought to you obviously 4th of July. So there's some stuff on here that was just inspired by things that happened this week. What's up, Panich? So yeah, there's some things that on this playlist that were just inspired by things that happened sort of this week, which just there's things that happen in life, obviously, that will upset you, make you act out of character, and just draw upon feelings that you don't normally have, right? So one of those things happened, and I realized that, I was complaining a lot and I was getting angry, which, if you don't know me, anger is not one of my primary emotions. And so I realized that the next day I was like, man, that was super lame that I even let something external affects my mood, right? And then that mood just I guess brought negativity on other people. So there's some songs on the Spotify playlist that kind of speak to that. Just I got some Snow the Product on there. If you're not familiar with Snow the Product and you're down with a little hip hop, Man, she's all about her people as a Mexican American, as a Mexican in general, and so she has no shame in switching as far as from English to Spanish in her music. She doesn't necessarily cater to anybody. She just says how she feels, and she's super open on Instagram. So she has these Instagram chats that are just like her thinking out loud. There's a lot of F-bombs. Her blogs are hilarious. So if you don't know who Snow the Product is, I didn't know a lot of her music. I just followed her as an Instagram personality. She's hilarious. So yeah, it's Snow THA Product. And so she has one song on my playlist. Another guy I've been listening to all week is Molly Music. And I've known about him for a little bit, but he just came out with a new project. Dude is definitely on point with his messaging and stuff like that, and so that kind of spoke to me. He has a song about my life, and then he just has songs that are super introspective, right? And it kind of spoke to, I guess, the mood that I was in this week, and so I threw that on the Spotify playlist, which those negative emotions drove me to one of the other songs on the playlist, which is called Shut Up and Grind by D1, because you can either let situations get you down, curl up in a ball, or you can just like the song says, shut up and grind. Just get to it. Molly is the man, Ralston. But yeah, so so Shut Up and Grind, man. This is D1. He's also the same guy who wrote one of my other favorite songs, motivational song, which is the Sally Maybach song. And so he talks about his overcoming. It's on episode 1 or 2, where he's actually on another Spotify playlist that we did for Frosty Friday, where he talks about just getting out of debt and paying Sally Maybach. So I mean, he's super inspirational to me. So Shut Up and Grind is just talking about taking all these things and external forces and people that don't have the same business journey, the same business goals as you, and just keeping it moving, not necessarily having negative feelings, not necessarily taking it personal, but just understanding that you can exist with that person in a business sense, or even in your life, right? If you're trying to get to a certain place in your life. And so Shut Up and Grind, totally one of the songs that's on the Spotify playlist for this week's Frosty Friday. There's a few other songs by D1. As far as Judgment and stuff like that, there's a few songs. Dear Mr. Christian, Derek Minor, Look at Me Now by Derek Minor. Both spiritual hip-hop artists. I won't necessarily just say pigeonhole them into just the Christian genre, because they reach a wide array of people. I like it because it's music that I can listen to. Still rap, just not derogatory, right? So I have a 3-year-old running around my house, and so it's hard to find music that that has that great beat, right? But that's not derogatory, and so it's something that I can actually jam. It has the trap beats, things of that nature, because I'm 80% lyrics, 20% music, but that 20% is a strong 20%. So if I'm not feeling the beat, then I'm not going to listen to it. And so yeah, Derek Minor, Look at Me Now, Dear Mr. Christian with him and Lecrae, and D1, man, both great songs. So I'll throw this out there on the blog. Thank you, Panich. I'm trying, man. I need to get you on some acoustic performances, because I've been performing and I need your amazing guitar skills. So I'm just going to throw that out there while you're watching. This is on record as saying that I need you on a guitar track, just to school me, if anything. But yeah, so if you're just joining, obviously Intrinsic, downtown Garland. If you've never been there, super amazing barbecue, barrel aged Ordinary Bitter. It's a solid beer. Definitely not one of my favorites out of Intrinsic, but again, it's I like the more sour, the more punchy. I like their stouts. I like anything they do experimental with different adjunct flavors. So like the like they have a cucumber, pineapple one that has like lemongrass in it, which is, man, that's phenomenal to me. Most people don't like it, but it's all good. So with the inspirational songs, with this being themed 4th of July, right? How can you not have, what up, Flo? How can you not have some songs from Sandlot? Like, I don't know a more American movie than Sandlot. And if you've never seen Sandlot, to all these young kids who I work with, and no offense, but you have no idea what you're missing out on if you have never seen Sandlot. That is just my personal opinion. I think if you know who you are, and forever, right, Panich? If you know who you are and you maybe feel a little ashamed about not having watched Sandlot, never seen it, I would just suggest that we watch Sandlot. I have this thing called the DVD. No, dude, Dazed and Confused doesn't, I mean, in my personal opinion, doesn't hold a flame to Sandlot. And thanks, Jason, on the Pedicolis glass. If you don't know, you didn't see the comment, that's an amazing glass. I don't even know where I got it from, to be honest with you. But yeah, if you, like, I don't even think Dazed and Confused and Sandlot are in the same lane, man, because Dazed and Confused, I didn't even get to watch. I didn't really watch until I was maybe college. So maybe 2001, 2002. And by that time, like, for me, I felt that it was lost on me because I didn't understand the whole cult classic thing. But Sandlot is one of those ones that I don't even know when that movie came out. But I can definitely tell you that movie impacted me so much, just because it's one of those movies that every time you at the racetrack drinking on Miller Lite, oh man, I feel so bad. But nothing against Miller Lite, but I mean, hey. But yeah, so yeah, you're right, Jason. Well, man, I just said you're right, but you're totally agreeing with Flo. I don't know about Dazed and Confused. That's just, I mean, again, this is just my personal opinion. Maybe it has something to do with the music, man. I just feel there was so much soul and feeling and heart and totality around Sandlot. And maybe it was just because, obviously, people don't know, some people do know, as a kid I moved around a lot, and so I was quintessentially at Smalls, because I was moving into different neighborhoods and trying to, sort of fit in and find my way. And one of the things that I can relate to the most is the fact that he pretended, faked it till he made it, as far as yeah, you're killing me, Smalls. Yeah, he faked it till he made it, pretty much, in made friends, right? But at the same time, he learned a lot. And so, man, I wouldn't say that's been my mantra, but moving around a lot, you don't really know a lot of people. For instance, when I moved to North Garland, man, I had friends I had already had, been established or whatever, coming from Lake Highlands. And so moving to North Garland, man, I didn't know anybody. But it didn't take me that long to get to know people, just because I pretty much faked till I made it, right? And Wendy Peppercorn is amazing. Sandlot is more of a good old American feel. Plus, wasn't there a 4th of July scene? Exactly. Thank you. And then how can you beat was it the Ray Charles singing America the Beautiful? Like that, I mean, that is just classic. Like, whoever So I was lying to kick it, is what I was saying. I was observing and adjusting, is what I would say, Flo. But yeah, man, like America the Beautiful, Ray Charles, like, how can you get more, I guess, deep than that? Like the fireworks, the Ray Charles, the raspy voice, man. I don't know, man. Dazed and Confused is, I think it's just in its own lane. So I wouldn't necessarily consider that the American classic, right? So that's, I mean, I think that's pretty much one of those movies that comes on right during the 4th of July weekend. At some point, it's going to be on somebody's channel. So that's just my personal opinion. So there are some songs on here from Sandlot, but then there are also like just some Motown, man. I've just been in a Motown mood. So that era, and like things like what is it, Remember the Titans, like, so just the soundtrack from like Remember the Titans, a lot of those made the playlist, just because for me it symbolizes like the hustle and bustle, right, of when the whole, like, just America as a whole, right, was like just was moving and growing and revolutionizing. So anything from music to the automotive industry, just to, as people, civil rights movements and things of that nature. The Five Heartbeats, Nights Like This, I wish, if you've never seen that movie, The Five Heartbeats is another classic. It's not necessarily a 4th of July movie, but I think it's a better story than the Temptation story, just because, man, you just can't beat that movie. So if you've never seen The Five Heartbeats, I encourage you to watch that movie. Thank you, Jason, for bringing that up. But yeah, so the hustle and bustle, revolutionizing as a people, revolutionizing as a country, just as industrialization, automotive industry is changing so much. There was just so much innovation right during this time where we had this. They are Motown, but most people don't realize that the Five Heartbeats are an actual real group, Jason. They think it's just this movie that is an amazingly written movie, which you can't say that too much about with anything that Robert Townsend's in, because Robert Townsend is also the dude that did Meteor Man, and Meteor Man is not the greatest movie ever. 8 Mile is from Motown, though. Justin Floyd, you're going to have to clarify that, because are you saying that Eminem is Motown, or 8 Mile, his trailer park is in Detroit, that is for Motown? I am not drawing the connection. I think I understand what you're putting down, but yeah, so so just Motown's one of my favorite eras, and so you can't Detroit, gotcha. Yeah, you just can't beat that era of music. So there's a lot of, again, so we went over, there's D1 on this playlist. There's some Motown, and anything that you guys feel is American music, which symbolizes, and please don't say American Woman by Lenny Kravitz, because that is not a great song, but Meteor Man is not a good movie. It's not. I am not hating on necessarily anything that Robert Townsend has done before. His TV show, I used to watch it. I don't remember what it's called. Georgia by Ray Charles. That is definitely a really good song. So I'm going to add that to the playlist as well, because anything Ray Charles, anything Stevie Wonder, I'll even give Joe Cocker some love. Is like, man, that's super memorable music to fit in with this theme, right? So yeah, I know Panich has some greats, because he introduced me to what is it? Oh man, I can't I can't even remember. Lee Greenwood. He had all the stars in the movie. Wasn't good, but he had everyone. It was like Blank Man, which is another horrible movie. I don't understand how the Wayans keep getting away with it, but some of the movies are just interesting. Panic says American Woman. I am not adding that to the playlist. I will add Fly Away to the playlist before I add American Woman. That is just my, and that's only because that was one of the first songs that Sean Schilling, I was so amazed when he showed me how to play the chords, because I was new to guitar, and so I was like, oh my god, he knows how to play this Lenny Kravitz song, and I didn't realize how easy it was until I actually started playing guitar. And so yeah, that's the only connection to Fly Away that I have. Yeah. Oh man. So we gotta add Georgia to the playlist. What other songs do you guys think are what symbolize that? I forgot to finish what I had on here. So maybe I'm biased, but Back to the Future definitely symbolizes, I guess from my standpoint, patriotism, I guess, in some weird way, but like the Earth Angel, and Johnny Be Good, like those are totally songs that I feel fit in this playlist in particular, just because those are classic things that Stand By Me, Benny King. All right, we can add that one. But yeah, those are. An Ice Cold Tab is pretty American. I guess that you guys, Jason and Flo, drinking Miller Lite, that's how much more American can you get than a cold Miller Lite at the racetrack. So I'm not throwing any shade, but I am just saying, you guys are living what they call the American dream. Beer and fast cars. How can you top that? Marty asked for one at the diner. Gotcha. Alright. So I'm gonna add these songs later. But yeah, so thank you guys for contributing to the American edition of Frosty Friday. I was asking about Back to the Future. It was a big 80s cola. No, I totally remember Tab Cola. Sam Cooke, A Change Is Gonna Come. Ralston Sterling, you're killing it. Sam Cooke has one of those, I guess, how do you say, iconic voices, right? So like, that's definitely one that I would put in that same category as the the Joe Cocker, the Ray Charles, the Temptations. Sam Cooke is a staple, I guess, for his genre, right? So you just have so many Sam Cooke classics, and so I totally agree with that. So yeah, I'm gonna take these songs and I'm gonna add them to the playlist, and then I'm gonna publish it on the Quincy Forte Music blog under Frosty Friday. I'm gonna throw some snippets out onto Instagram real quick too. Yeah, man, 4th of July. I hope everybody has a safe holiday, right? I don't have any plans. We're not really big firework people. I don't like blowing stuff up. So that's just my personal opinion. You can go blow whatever you want up. Just don't do it in my yard because I haven't watered my yard, and it's not wet. So it'll probably, yeah, there's trees and stuff. It'll be bad, real bad. But what's up, Witty? Appreciate you joining. Find me at Wiley Beer Snob on Instagram. QuincyForteMusic.com is where the blog is. If you want to follow my music Instagram, it's just at Quincy Forte. At Quincy Forte on Twitter. Upcoming shows. It's un-American not to want to blow stuff up. Yeah, and I also don't eat hot dogs. If I do, it's a turkey dog, and so that's completely un-American. I don't know what to eat at a 4th of July cookout. Being African American, there's a lot of pork. There's Earl Campbell hot links. There's pork chops. There's brisket. There's what did I say? There's hamburgers. There's baked beans with Born in the USA. There's a good song. Yep, Wiley Beer Snob on Instagram. There's baked beans with bacon in it. There's baked potatoes with bacon in it. There's yeah, and I really don't know what to eat. So the chicken's usually gone by the time I get there, because everybody knows that I don't eat beef or pork. But yeah, they decide to eat the chicken first, which, I mean, it's cool. Most times, I've learned my lesson. I either eat before I go, or I bring my own turkey, poultry product to grill. And I just potato salad with bacon, bacon with bacon. Yeah, so, I've learned to bring my own stuff, and people, it's really funny because they're like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry, I didn't know." And I'm like, "No, you didn't offend me. I already knew what the deal was." And so I just brought my own stuff, or I already ate. Green Onions is a great song. When can I do a bottle share? Actually, I don't have a schedule made for that company that I do things for, which I'm not mentioning on here because I'm not getting extra money for it. But yeah, so I don't have a schedule. So right now, other than the weekend of July 14th, I think we can do it anytime. So yeah, just let me know now to where I don't have to work the schedule off on a Friday. Usually off on Sundays. I can be off on Saturday. So we're gonna do a Saturday a little bit early, but I'm definitely down to do a bottle share. My next show, July 15th at Intrinsic. I'm drinking their Ordinary Bitter right now. But yeah, so my next show is at Intrinsic July 15th from noon to 3. I will be playing with Jude Flower, who is the daughter of a legend. So if you know the FNAs, you know Jeremy Peering. His daughter is actually in a oh man, I can't even talk. She's a really amazing vocalist. She is an up-and-coming singer-songwriter in Dallas. She's in another band called The Power Cool, I think is what they're called. But she does acoustic stuff every now and again, and I've sort of begged her to play with me, which is really funny because there was a show I did at the House of Blues with Jeff Widman, who I think he's still on here, still listening. Jeff Widman was filling in. We're in the VIP thing, and there was honestly, there was nobody there. And so she asked if she could get on stage, and so I let her get on stage and play my guitar for a little bit, and little did I know I may have contributed to her dream. So Jude Flower, if you're watching, hopefully I contributed to fueling your dream, you being on stage in a room with like 6 people there. Again, I know she performed at a talent show in high school, so man, she's just a really amazing vocalist, and I'm excited to see what she becomes as a musician. She's already a pretty cool person. Her dad's pretty awesome. He's one of the best bass players that I know, and he will say that he is a horrible bass player, but don't believe the hype. The FNAs, they are one of my favorite local bands in Dallas. So if you haven't heard of them, you should check them out. Yeah, y'all hold me to that bottle share. I'm definitely down. I got bottles on deck of stuff that I haven't tried. That's sitting in my fridge. I have some cans of stuff that I haven't tried that's sitting in my fridge as well. But there's a lot of stuff out there now that, you know, would definitely be worth sharing. Anything barrel aged, whiskey barrel aged is the jam. Plus I can always go to Intrinsic and pick up some amazing stuff while I'm there getting some nachos. They're gonna kill me because you can't get nachos till after 3, and every time people come to my show they ask for nachos and it's like noon and 1. So yeah, my bad, Intrinsic. I got the play dates. I still haven't had it, so just keep that one until next month, and I'll come over and try it. I almost bought it, but then it just wasn't appealing. I mean, even for the price, I was just like, there's other stuff that I'd rather pay $7 for. So yeah, that's just my opinion. July 15th, Intrinsic is the next show from noon to 3. I still got shirts, man. Somebody buy a shirt. Yeah, QuincyForteMusic.com. Check it out. If you don't have a shirt and you want to meet me, just let me know. We may be able to work something out as far as price. So yeah, and if you haven't seen the shirts, I'll repost them on the Quincy Forte page, just sort of to refresh the idea. So yeah, thank you guys for checking it out. Flo and Jason, man, y'all have a great time at the track. What's up, Alexis? Too little too late. Thanks for joining, but it's all good. I'm about to go to sleep. But yeah, Witty, if you're still on, appreciate you jumping on. Appreciate you helping out for all the shows that you have. We still have to learn that Jason Mraz song. Hopefully we can learn it before the 15th, and you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, let's do that bottle share soon. Frosty Friday live edition, super live is what we're gonna call it. Because there's gonna be like 3 people wild, trying out different beers. 3 very strongly opinionated people. I would say one of us is strongly opinionated, and Flo knows who he is. Yeah, that's it, man. Y'all have a good night. Try not to do anything too crazy, and I will see y'all next Friday.